What's up, Grow Fam? It's Wednesday.
Hey,
Once again, it's Wednesday, the middle of the week. We all need that little something to get us through the rest of the week, right? I don't know, but today's Wednesday. It's another Waylon Wednesday on GrowFam. What's up, GrowFam? How's it going, everybody? It's Wednesday once again. Switching audio tonight. Yeah, so tonight, okay, we're good to go. GrowFam Wednesday, Waylon Wednesday. What's up, GrowFam? Getting that middle of the week going on right now. We're gonna have a little sesh. We're gonna hang out and have some fun. We're gonna give away GrowFamBox tonight. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Waylon Wednesday, powered by GrowFam. All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. Waylon Wednesday on GrowFam. We are on the Indoor Farmer Rumble channel as well. If you guys are interested in Rumble, ask me about that. But yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy midweek sesh. It's time to maybe, we'll have some fun and maybe find some information out at the same time. All right, what's going on, everybody? Hello, GrowFam. It is Wednesday again. We grow on every day, but Wednesday especially, we grow on Wednesday. It is February 21st, guys, 2024. Another midweek sesh, another family get-together. Let's get them in here tonight. If you didn't see the thumbnail, I'm pretty proud of the thumbnail, I gotta say. I don't toot my horn that often, but I thought it was pretty fun. But if you didn't see it, guys, we have a really special episode for you tonight. If you could, please hit that like button, smash it if you might, and share it out with your friends and try to get some friends in here maybe that aren't in GrowFam. Maybe let's try to expand the fam tonight, right? Tonight we are going to go through some interesting topics that, wow, holy cow, I didn't even notice. We got 78 people here already. I think I did a good job of sharing and tagging before the show, so that's a good thing. Heck yeah, guys, definitely keep it going, keep up that energy, because we have a very special guest for you tonight. And I don't think I had anything else to go over beforehand, but this show is brought to you by GrowFam Homestead, y'all. So make sure you start hashtagging that, the GrowFam, hashtag GrowFam for life. What's up, everybody? It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to keep up with the comments tonight until we get to that giveaway. So be patient. We are going to give away GrowFamBox, of course. Tonight is going to be that for this show is our weekly GrowFamBox. And okay, so let's get going. I see 84 in here now. So without further ado, let's bring up tonight's guest. All right, we've got Dagny here, and let me fix my screen here as we go. Okay, what's up? We've got Dagny from Occult Mental Health. Hi, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Dagny. I am the owner of my baby Occult Mental Health.
That is a very interesting name. It like immediately when I saw you at actually, I'm not 100% which event, but it might have been at the winter market. Was that where I saw you, or one before that maybe?
No, so I have been going to like the local dispensaries and giving out my card because I do medical marijuana evaluations for the medical card.
Oh, maybe that's where I found it then, because I have been talking to a local one.
I'm hoping that they're setting them out. Some of them were like, well, we don't do that. And I was like, well, I brought you snacks, so maybe you will.
I think that's what it was, because I've been talking to New Era recently for different things. So definitely must have been it. I also go to a lot of events. So I have this is probably just from the last couple of events of business. So I was going through and I was like, whoa, I remember reading about the Occult Mental Health. I'm like, that's right up our alley. The show is about growing as people, and food is involved in that, right? Food, nutrition, farming, all that stuff. But it's a play on words of sorts, because our mental health is just as important as getting food in the ground, so it's all connected. And with you having the connection with cannabis is even more of a strong draw to this group, at least this group of knuckleheads. So we're going to get into it, guys. We've got 90 in the house already. So it looks like tonight's going to be a good algorithm night. Plus 10 over on Rumble. Shouts out to Rumble. I love you guys. We got Earl, Margaret, Eric, all on the Rumble. And let's see, 17 reactions though, guys. Can we get the reactions going? We've got the wonderful Dagny here with a great with the map behind her of old school London.
Yeah, and my this side, my cow skulls.
Oh, I saw that, the skulls. Yeah, I actually have a friend. Shouts out to Barry Cloyd. He's a local musician, he's an amazing musician. He came to my house in studio to perform, and he does artwork on those cow skulls.
Oh,
he paints them up all wicked looking. Yeah. So okay. So you must be in my area then. That's good. So you're around about 9 o'clock. It's at 8:11 here actually, and it is 1 minute past 7:10, guys. I'm actually going to get a little dab going here on the side as we have a conversation. You're welcome to as well, but it sounds like you're in the house with everyone, so I guess that may not be the case for you. I'm in the dungeon. I'm actually out in the moonlight. You guys like the background? Let me know out there in the comments below. All right, so like I said, it's pretty laid back, and we might be a little all over the place since we have giveaways and we have lots of friends to say hello to. But I wanted to give you some time to kind of, tell us who you are, tell us where all this came from. Like, you haven't always been a nurse. Like, did it start in nursing and then you moved to other things with cannabis, or was this always sort of your goal? Was this the progression, or how did it start?
So I was not one of those nurses who all their life wanted to be a nurse. That really wasn't my thing. I was one of those kids who excelled at like everything in school, but yet didn't have like a passion for anything. So for the longest time, I thought I was going to be a biomedical engineer.
Wow.
Yeah, I got accepted to engineering school, got a scholarship, and then, decided, oh, I don't know if I really like math that much. And then I was like, you know what? Nursing school sounds easy. I'll just do that. It's not easy at all. And then once I became a nurse, you kind of, you see some stuff that you can never unsee, and B, I just kept, I worked with adults and kids, and I just kept seeing all of these mental health emergencies, and everybody was on, some kind of, medication for their mental health. And then I'd see, I'd ask people, and I was like, well, where do you go? Like, who do you see? Lots of, not to be too dark, but just lots of, I worked ER for years, and
Been there.
Yeah. So I'd see, lots of suicide attempts. And, what I'd find is there was nothing in the community. There was nobody. So, we'd see them and treat them. And then it's like, okay, you're great. Bye. Like, go see your primary care provider. And it's like, well, that's not really going to work because they don't specialize in psychiatry. So I went back to school for the first time, and then got my family nurse practitioner. Then I did hospital medicine for years, still do that, and gastroenterology. And then I went back to school again because I was like, you know what? I love psych. I love seeing these people. I love talking to these people. I should do that. So I did finish that, and realized I didn't want to work for anybody and was envious of my husband, who owns his own business, and was like, well, maybe I'll just do that. And so, ta-da.
For sure.
But I wanted, my big thing with Occult Mental Health is I wanted something that was dark, because I feel like, I love the occult. I love cryptids. I love true crime. I just love everything.
Just to be clear for everybody, she's not in a cult. She loves the occult. It's a different thing. I was already asked about that, like, oh, cults. I'm like, no.
People, people think that it's very, like, it's satanic, and it's not, I promise. Not in the
paranormal's another good word for it, right? It's very similar, not quite the same, but like there's a crossover there for sure.
Yeah. So with me, occult means like mysterious and enchanting and like mystical. And for me, it was two things. I wanted a place for people like me would want to go. I'm a little weird. The last time I went to see somebody for my own mental health, they told me I needed to journal and then pray about it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, that's not going to fix all of my problems. So I really wanted to provide the community with something a little darker, because mental health isn't sunshine and rainbows.
True that. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, a lot of times it's you're in the dark, you're stuck in the dark, and you don't feel like there's a way out. So I really wanted to kind of embolden that. And my office, which is almost done, I think really will. It's kind of creepy, it's weird, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But that's kind of where the name came from. And to me, the brain and treating the brain, it's mystical, man. Like, maybe 70 years ago we were given lobotomies, and so there's still a lot we don't know about the mind. And I feel like what makes everybody unique and makes you is mystical. We can't explain that. So that's that's my take on it, and that was what I was hoping people would also see from it as well.
I like it because of a few things. It's a different vibe. So when you're somebody who's trying to reach out for that kind of help, you don't always want the you know, how do I put this, like the sanitized walls of a hospital with someone wearing the white coat and you don't
Yeah.
want that necessarily. And so I think this sort of could be I don't know if an icebreaker is the right way to say it, but it could be something that allows people to kind of feel a little bit more, I don't know if comfortable. I don't know. Comfortable may not be the right word, because they may go and be like, oh, I don't know. But at least they're not, they're out of their comfort zone a little bit, which is good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. And
Bringing them into an unknown environment, or unusual, I guess I should say. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I wanted a place where that didn't look like everything else, and that was kind of my brain, like just a hot mess express that's a little dark, a little creepy, and then also there's pink flowers and pretty stuff. So yeah, so that was it's like an outward extension of myself. And I think I feel like we're all, I remember being a kid and in high school and even as an adult, just feeling weird. Like, I just weird. I talk about things I enjoy and people just look at me like, what are you, about like aliens or Mothman or,
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never been called weird. Well, listen, I've probably less than a million times, but a few times. Now I know what you mean. Like, I feel like there are people that are on a different, they're in tune with things in a different way. Like your surroundings, like the energies around you, maybe some of the emotions of the people around you and stuff. Like you kind of maybe see things in a different light, or maybe you just don't. You're not as worried about the little, the social anxieties that a lot of people have, where you were worried about how you looked or how and everyone's so worried about fitting in and being sort of conformity. It's sad. I've always been kind of like I can go to any group,
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, I just felt like I didn't really fit in anywhere. Like, I would have, I liked little bits of everything. And so, except sports and country music. I don't like either of those. But
oh my gosh. My two favorites. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I don't watch sports. I played sports. Thank you for tagging and sharing, Brendra. Thank you. What's up, Mama Val? What's up, everybody? I really appreciate you coming in. Almost 90 people in here, 30 or 27 reactions. Let's get up to that 100 mark so we can give away a GrowFam hat as well.
That's awesome.
We're just scratching the surface here, because I want to find out. Say if I'm a customer, I come to you. Right now you don't have a shop, but you're working on that. So like if I come to you on Facebook, what is the normal sort of routine that you're going to take a customer through? Like you question them first and then.
Yeah. So it honestly depends on what you're looking for. So of course I do psychiatry. So and a touch of therapy. So we can do that, or I also offer, the medical marijuana card evaluations. And then I also will be offering ketamine infusions as well for, there's some mental health diagnosis that you can use that for, and also chronic pain. So it really depends on what you want. For any of them, though, you'll just go on my website, occultmentalhealth.com, and then click on, kind of scroll down and then click to book whichever service you'd like, or you can just message me too and we can chat and figure out what you want. But for most things, it's all, right now, it's all online. So you can, I'll send all of the intake questions, all that fun stuff to you, your email. Then once we get all that, we can, here in a few weeks, I'll be able to do, like I said, my office will be open. So we'll be able to do like in-person meetings. And of course, all the ketamine infusions will be in person, obviously. But everything else can be online. So, if you want a medical marijuana evaluation, it's like 15 minutes. It is literally the fastest thing on the planet.
What does that mean though? Like the evaluation to get the card, or
Yes.
do you go further where you can figure out the sort of concoction or the terpenes that the type, the strain, I should say, that's best for a patient? Have you heard of that? Because I know there is that in nursing, but it seems like more that seems like more specialized, I guess.
Yes and no. So it honestly depends on what the patient wants, or what anyone would want. I've got a little bit of knowledge on like the different strains and terpenes, and that I could, kind of help steer a patient towards, and kind of what they should look for. I'm also, if you come in my office or even online, I'm also going to attach after we have our meeting. You'll get a copy of a informational flyer about the different terpenes and strains and what treats what best, and kind of what to look for. But usually, if you want the medical card, what we would discuss would be, do you have any of the debilitating diagnoses already? And if so, you'll just have to bring kind of a problem list, or like an imaging of, let's say you have chronic pain from like lower back pain, and you've got like a bulging disc. As long as you show me a picture of that being diagnosed, we're good to go. Otherwise, if you don't know if you have one of those, I can talk with you and diagnose you myself. Like if you're concerned for PTSD, and then I think there's a couple other ones, we can talk about it and see if you fit that diagnosis. So it's pretty quick and painless. Well, about as painless as anything with mental health goes.
Sure. Yeah, because I'm surprised that you're able to do this with the fact that they kind of have such a stranglehold on the cannabis industry in general. I didn't realize that you could be a independent person and be able to do that. So it's kind of cool for sure.
Yeah, and I've noticed, I think there are like several big companies that offer it, but with me, and when I see patients for their mental health, I'm a huge advocate, obviously, of cannabis use. I think that it is like a miracle drug for so many people. So, if I have patients who are telling me, A, they're struggling to sleep at night, B, they're just so anxious, they can't seem to ever calm down, I always recommend it, or see if that's something that they've ever tried. And if it is, or if they're already, several of my patients already smoke or eat edibles on the daily, and I'm just like, why don't you have a medical card yet? Like you have all of the diagnoses to get one. Mm-hmm. Why don't we just do that real quick?
Well, maybe they don't buy it through the dispensary, so they don't need to, but it's like, it's still not a bad thing. Guys, we're at 92. We were at 97. I had my phone ready to I had to take a picture when we get to that 100 mark. We're gonna get real close. I think we're gonna hit it for sure, but I got to make sure I get a good picture of it before, so that we can give away an extra hat from GrowFam.com. But yeah, I appreciate everyone saying the tags and shares. What's up, Terry? Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is very interesting to me because it's something that I suffer from. We have, it says right here, 15% discount for veterans on all services. And it's been, and it's something I've talked about many times on we've had specific shows on other different shows of mine where we've talked about PTSD, specifically for veterans, first responders. On my Thursday night show we did that, and stuff like that. It's actually much more therapeutic to just be able to talk about it, and also know that there are people in the audience that may be going through similar things, and maybe they don't have someone to talk to, or they don't think they're alone in that. And so for me, it's sort of therapeutic for me to sort of feel like I might be helping others in that way as well, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody can be on the camera. So that's again why one reason I do it. So to know someone professionally doing it is definitely another level. Like I've had medical training. I've worked at the hospital, but like you said, mental health, there's nothing that they don't really connect the two exactly when you're there. It's like there's some counseling there at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of a question mark, like what.
Yeah, I mean, they offer, this, after you have a code situation, or, they just, in some aspect, I just feel like they give you this app that you can do for your counseling, and it's like, well, that's not really gonna help with the traumatic event I just saw and witnessed. So I really, and I think counseling is great, and I think that therapy, obviously, I think therapy is wonderful, but I also think that we need, you need, in some situations, you just need medication. Like, your therapy won't change the lack of, or the excess of chemicals in your brain.
Some things you can't come back from. I get that.
No, I mean, there are, and with PTSD, it's it's pretty severe trauma, and you have to essentially try and rewire your brain around that traumatic event. Not ignore it, not put it in a box. You have to confront that traumatic event and then try and figure out a way to live with it, and not necessarily move past it, but actually live with it and know that it's a part of you. You can't just wish it away or just ignore it away thinking that's going to fix it, because it's not. So, and cannabis can really help those with PTSD. There is lots of, I'm working on here soon, I'm going to do more PTSD training, because there is a lot of specialty therapies you can do for it. But yeah, so you're right. There's just not a lot out there. I mean, especially psychiatric wise.
Well, and there's such a stigma too. Like, you want to go to. It just depends on what the situation is. For me, PTSD is not the same thing. I mean, I don't think it's the same for anybody really. But for me, anxiety, depression, those sort of things all mix in together, and I have PTSD. I don't have. I'm sort of desensitized rather than having, say, a loud noise making me hit the floor. I'm actually more calm in intense situations. Not in necessarily a superpower way, but more like what's going, I'm not really as affected. But it's different for everybody. Like I said, like I've had people, the classic story of a loud noise and someone, but it just depends on the situation. I still I have a lot of other similar signs where I have to make sure I know where the exits are, and the other things, and so it's very hard. I can't imagine trying to navigate that world, because you have some people that want medication and they may want it more than they should, and that's a bad thing, and so you have to be careful. And then you have the other end where people don't want things even if they maybe should take it. So how do you line up on organic, non-organic? Have you prescribed opioids, or are you more like trying to go fully holistic and
So I would say I'm a nice, like, mix of both. I won't prescribe opioids in my psych clinic. There's no need for that. You're not going to have, your brain shouldn't be hurting. And if it is, then we got more problems than, mental health. That's probably
Well,
more.
I guess I was just wrapping them up, but I guess
I think what you're thinking of
pharmaceuticals,
are,
I guess I should say.
yeah, no. So you're probably thinking of like benzodiazepines. So, Xanax,
Xanax, yeah.
Klonopin, Ativan. Um, so I don't like to. However, there are instances where it's needed. I have seen patients who every single day go through a complete panic attack, feel like they're having a heart attack, feel like they can't breathe, and the only thing that can get them past that is a Xanax. Now, if I'm gonna prescribe a benzo like Xanax or Klonopin, it's not a permanent thing, and I don't want it to ever be a permanent thing. I want it to be something that you take when you need it. So if you're severely anxious or on the verge of having a panic attack, but I also want you to be going to therapy so you can identify the triggers of your anxiety and identify the cause of these panic attacks so we can not have them, essentially, or be able to recognize them and say, hey, I need to remove myself from this situation, or hey, I need to calm myself down because I can feel myself getting amped up, if that makes sense. So,
It does.
I think there is a time and place for that. However, it's one of those things where I don't want to, it's not something I give everybody. Actually, very rarely do I give that out. And there are tools that I can use to help kind of give me insight as to how anxious you are or how bad your panic attacks are. However, would I prefer for my patients to eat an edible or do a dab when they're feeling anxious? Yes, if that's going to work for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, that's, the side effect profile isn't there. Cannabis is one of those things where right away if it reacts well to you or it doesn't. Me personally, me and cannabis do not react well. I fortunately am one of those people who have panic attacks when I smoke or eat an edible. So unfortunately, it's not something that helps me. However, I've seen it work miracles for people. So I'm obviously a huge advocate. So
that's really sad, actually, that you're such an advocate. But guys, 2 more. We were at 99. We're at 99 right now. 1 more person. Come on in and we'll do a giveaway for a GrowFam hat. 1 more person. Everyone stay here. Everyone be quiet. Shh. Come in. 1 more.
Come on, 1 more.
I definitely want to see your number of followers going up too on that Facebook page.
Yeah. Nice.
97. That's the wrong direction, guys. We need 2 to 3 more now. We're so close. Like, I'm so distracted because I'm trying to get a picture because it might dip back down as soon as it goes down. Because I want the people who are here every Wednesday, with that loyalty, with that support, to get one of these hats, because everyone else can float back out after we hit that 100. I'm just kidding, but we're gonna definitely hit it. We're at 99. Plus 30 over on the Rumble. I mean, we're definitely over 100, but I got to do it a certain way. But we're sitting at around 100. Oh, there it goes, 101.
Ooh,
101. I got it. All right. Whew, everyone can breathe again. I apologize. I actually really like your name.
Thanks.
Like, I have an unusual name. You might have noticed, but actually there's a lot more Whalens getting born out there nowadays. I've never heard of Dagny before. Is that like your full name?
Yeah, that's my full name. It's
wow.
My full name. Yeah.
Have you ever met someone else with that name?
I once met a Pilates instructor with my name, but that is it. I've never met anyone else. Everywhere I've worked, every hospital I've been at, I'm the only one.
That's not bad. Well, I mean, I don't know. depends if you want to hide or
I was about to say, I think it's a gift and a curse.
like which Stephanie was it? Which Jessica? Which
I know,
Sarah?
like when you have like a real sketchy patient, I wish her name wasn't so unique. Yeah, and then
I
when
remember.
we go through fast food drive-throughs, I'll use my husband's name. It's like because if I say my name, they'll ask me 40 times what it is, and then have me spell it, and then somehow say it
Still get
wrong.
it wrong. Yeah. Wait, I can't. I'm trying to figure out what they would say. Daphne, maybe.
I get Jackie a lot.
Jackie. It's this. It's the tones when you say the word. Like mine comes out as Wayne a lot or William.
Yeah.
Say William. No, no. What's up, Mandy? What's up, everybody? I appreciate everyone's comments. We're at 105 now, plus 25. So very cool. I wanted to read a little bit from your words on the from the site here too.
Yeah.
This says, "Experience the magic of occult mental health. Embrace your inner weirdness." See, now that right there, like that gets me. I mean, these people. I've been accused recently of turning my show into a zoo, and it's like, wait a minute, that's just me. I am a zoo. At Occult Mental Health, we offer psychiatric care, including new patient evaluations, medication management therapy, medication or medical marijuana evaluations, and ketamine infusions. I want to ask you about that for sure. For mental illness and chronic pain, our treatment plans take a holistic approach. See, there it is, to mental health and are tailored to you. We accept insurance and private pay. Do you accept like chicken? Like if I had like, or
You know,
like a crop?
if someone was like, "Hey, I don't know if I'd accept food. I got a weird thing about food."
Gotta be
But
careful about that. Yeah.
people, as a person who actually lives in a zoo with 2 dogs and 4 freaking cats, I don't know. And I've been in people's houses, and it's like, man, I don't know if I'd take food.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. I guess like a live chicken would be a little different though. Yeah.
If I didn't have a fear of birds, maybe, but
Eric says, good question.
no chickens now. Maybe no other cats either. I really don't need any more pets.
Jane Doe, I'm seeing it, but I'm not sure what it means. I'm deciphering. I'm deciphering here. I'm looking up. I hope wasn't meant to be a middle finger, but I'm looking higher. I see. What are you pointing out? Valerie Stars? What is it? Is it? I feel like a game of Blue's Clues going on here.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Let's see.
And
Nope.
for Rasta, I am not taking public aid insurance at this time. I'm working on it, but who would have thought the government would be such a nightmare to deal with credentialing through? Who would have thought that?
Leslie, I'm getting there, bro. Let me see. I appreciate it. He says, I was wanting to know if Dagny can write med cards for any state. Oh, yes. I did pull that up earlier. I meant to. I didn't interrupt, though. But, yeah, he asked if you're able to work with any state, or if I'm sure it's just an Illinois thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just Illinois. So technically, whatever state that I have to have a different license for each state, and so Illinois is a full practice authority state, which means I don't have to have a physician with me. And other states aren't. I think in the future, I may branch out a little bit to see, with the states that have legalized medical use, what I like their licensing and try and get licensed in multiple states. But with, occult mental health only being, it's about 4 months old now. It's still, I've got quite.
I haven't even asked that, but that's insane. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's very, very new. So I've been a nurse practitioner for, since 2018, I think. So it's been about 5 years going on. No, 6 years, 5-6 years now. It's been a while. It feels like forever.
So, but that's why I had asked you about how you got to that point, because I didn't imagine someone starting out in nursing with that in mind. And so you did kind of take a few steps there. And like I said, I did work in the ER. Well, not, I worked in five, or wait, it was like four different departments in the hospital. I'd have to count, but neither here nor there. One of them was security. So, I had to work in every department,
Yep.
basically, especially anywhere that had patients that were unruly, which ER was a big one. So
Mhm.
I could see why you got out of there. But it's tough to find medical, personnel that care enough to continue to do their job. So it's really cool to see that you got out. You're still a medical professional, but you work for yourself, and
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah. It's I let's just say I'm counting down the days of leaving until I get to leave my full-time job. Um, so right now it's a lot, but you go in, and the other big thing is, I've got a very significant family history with mental health, and I just think of what people go through, and then to think that there's nobody around for them just kills me. So um I'm hoping, with social media, and I've got to figure out some other marketing things, but I want to try and get for the community to know that I'm here, and that I can try and help you. Am I going to solve all of your problems? Probably not, but I can try and solve at least a few of them.
Well, the fact that you were willing to come on is a huge step today in today's world, especially post COVID, and everything was with Zoom and all the video calls and everything. I've spoken to so many small business people in general, but other medical professionals who even said they would come on, but then they back out or whatever. And it's like, you have to be careful about the way you give people advice, right? That's a big thing. But you shouldn't shy away. Like you said, you're trying to get out there in social media. So I appreciate that too. So I would like to, for sure. I'm sure there's plenty of other creators that are in here that would have you on some point, because, like I said, there's a lot of mental health awareness in the cannabis community, and I fear that some of that is masking for addiction, because I personally believe marijuana is a drug, just like most food is a drug. And a lot of people would probably disagree with me out there, but like, it can be addictive. What do you think? What's your opinion on that? Is it something, I know, not necessarily physical? People will probably jump on me right away, but it's an addiction. I mean, plain and simple.
So it's what it so if we talk about addiction, certain things are addictive chemically. So for me, when I think about cannabis chemically isn't addictive. What's addictive about cannabis is when you're using it and integrating it in part of a routine, almost like smoking cigarettes.
Like I
It's
am right now.
Yeah, so it's like your coping mechanism. So then, you know, you get to the point where you're relying on it to cope with everything. And unfortunately, it's not going to fix everything. I think that it'll help with some of your symptoms, but to be addicted to it, you're not necessarily chemically addicted to it. You're addicted to the fact that it's how you're coping with things, how it's pushing some of the thoughts you don't want to think about or sit in. And the other thing is, it depends on your personality. Some people have an addictive personality and some don't. I'm one of those people who probably parts of my personality are pretty addictive. So I would have to be very careful. And some people, can pick up a cigarette and smoke for 30 years and then all of a sudden be like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore and just quit cold turkey. So I think that there's multiple facets of addiction. There is a genetic aspect to it. There is, like I said, a chemical aspect to it. And then there is that mental aspect of it. Like I said, cannabis itself isn't chemically addictive, but what is what you're using it to mask.
Right, and that's why I pointed out, and that's why it's sort of a thought experiment for me when I always bring it up, because there's somebody out there that will disagree. And what I mean by that is that there are downsides that I try to be conscious of. I use it. I say I use it medicinally, but I also use it recreationally. Like right now, I'm not having a panic attack. I'm having a nightcap here with you on the show as an with my friends, as a recreational use. But I try to be cognizant that, for one thing, I'm somewhat asthmatic. I've developed some allergies, so inhaling it's probably not the greatest thing for me. But it's also the only thing that kind of does the trick for me. So edibles don't do it, although maybe they would if I let it off. So that's what I mean. I have that kind of back and forth within me where it's like, a lot of people don't believe it's a bad thing, but I think anything in excess can be harmful, right? Like it makes me love to eat anything that goes well with milk. Whatever you can, like any kind of cakes or cookies or pies.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
Love for Oreos. I swear, like immediately, do we have Oreos? And it's like, man, you just ate the whole thing a few days ago. Like, no, we don't have any more Oreos.
Chuck says I'm addicted to hashtag giveaways. Yeah, that's funny. Rasta says, I like what it says in the book Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcohol and drugs are but a symptom of your problems, and we need to get down to the cause and the conditions. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Now, for me, I look at it like this. Any medication, you have to think of it as a cost benefit analysis. If the benefit outweighs the cost, then I guess there you go. But at the same time, to Dagny's point, is there's probably always an alternative, better way to maybe do things down the line. Now, with that being said, this ketamine thing, man, like I don't even that's freaky. That's a horse tranquilizer or something, isn't it? I saw a movie once where somebody did some ketamine or whatever. What's going on with that? It's a liquid and you inject it.
Yeah, so it's you put it into like a IV infusion, basically.
Oh, I see.
And you do it over, depending on what you're using it for. The infusion will last either 1 hour or 4 hours. And the big thing I want to stress is I'm not putting you. It's not Special K. I'm not putting you in a K hole.
Okay, that's what I was like. K holes and things. I don't know.
We're not doing any of that. So
can I grow weed in the K hole? I'm not sure how that works.
I mean, you could try to grow weed in the void, but I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you'd get a great yield. I'm not sure. No. So what you should feel during ketamine infusion is, like I said, we're not putting you on a K hole. What we're doing is making you relax and kind of, I know this is going to sound kind of woo-woo, but kind of opening your mind. Because what ketamine should do for you is it should make you kind of step out of your own mind and look at your mental illness, look at your trauma, look at the stressors that you're facing in a different light. And they say, what they're saying is it'll rewire your brain. Like it will.
I've heard this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so they're hoping by, kind of getting you this kind of out of body experience, you're able to confront your trauma without it being so traumatic. Does that make sense?
It sounds exactly like a psilocybin. Um, I wouldn't say trip because any range of use, like your microdose, even
Yes,
up
yep,
to your max trip,
you
very
got it.
similar.
Without that, the GI issues. I mean, I guess
Wait, the
anyway.
what? So mushrooms give you GI issues?
Shrooms can, yeah.
I've not heard this.
Yeah,
Is that a male female thing, or is that just like a general? Okay,
it's a
not heard
general.
that. Hmm.
Now, I think there are ways to get past that. But yeah, just like eating raw shrooms, they does not agree with your belly, with your GI tract. I can't remember what it is with it, but yeah. So ketamine for pain, you're looking at it more for like neuropathic pain. So like that severe fibromyalgia, that severe nerve damage where it's kind of hard to explain, but you kind of have this kind of widespread kind of tingling or just pain that you can't really um, say exactly where it's all coming from, or it's just, and with that neuropathic pain, neuropathic meaning nerve based,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of opioids, which are, just so everybody knows, opioids are not a long-term solution. They're meant to be a very short-term thing. So a lot of times opioids won't touch that nerve pain, and gabapentin can only dampen it so much, whereas ketamine can go in and kind of settle the nerves, and kind of deal with some of that nerve inflammation that you'll. So it's pretty cool. It's
Instead of numbing the nerves, or instead of just deadening that connection, it's actually. So Lauren has a question here.
Yeah.
About the ketamine. It was about the same time. Do the people have bad trips like in with acid, kind of similarly? I don't know. I mean, like she said, she's not putting you in a K hole per se, but I guess she's asking, even at whatever dosage you're giving, have you ever had anyone freak
so
out, or
No. So, what you do is, I'll be with the patient the entire time. So, if you're sitting there and you're like, man, like I'm getting real anxious, I'm freaking out, something's going on, I will give you what is called Versed, and it'll kind of, it's kind of like high power Ativan, and it'll really kind of settle you. So then you will slow the infusion or even stop the infusion for about 15-20 minutes, and then restart at a slower rate. And like I said, I am sitting there the entire time. And I've done ketamine sedations in the ER, so I've seen that. So I've done conscious sedation. And the beauty of it is ketamine's not addictive. Well, not chemically addictive. And the risk for abuse is pretty low when we're using it in this kind of inpatient setting, office setting. So like I said, I'm there. The biggest side effects that you can see from it are people panic, kind of getting panicky or anxious feeling, because when you kind of start to feel that out of body experience, it can freak people out. So they can have an elevated heart rate, which I have medication for that. And that's usually the biggest thing. However, it will make you groggy and sleepy afterwards. So of course, and yes, it does go by weight. So you do so many milligrams per kilogram.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's tailored to you. I also can add certain things to the infusions as well. So like if you need extra fluids or magnesium, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then in the future, I'm hoping to, after patients have done, because you have to do like a round of 6 ketamine infusions in I think like a month, and then you can do it monthly. But I'm trying to, in the future, I really want to offer the lozenges. So like a drop almost of ketamine for patients to do at home.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Huh?
That sounds dangerous. Like candies, ketamine candies. Holy cow!
But it's like, so think of like microdosing shrooms. It's the same thing.
Oh,
So
I
very,
see.
very low.
Don't eat the whole box, kids.
Yeah, so very,
So-
very low dose.
I want to hit this comment before we get too far. Stuart Microgreens, what's up, brother? Says the ER gave me medical fentanyl. What are the other options besides oxy and fentanyl? I don't know if ketamine is something that would be a alternative, or is it like in addition to? I'm not sure.
So the goal is, if you haven't tried cannabis, try some cannabis.
He does. Yeah, he's definitely a smoker for sure.
Perfect. So it depends on the type of pain you have and how well treated your pain is. The goal is I feel like ketamine would be a good thing that we could try. But the goal is to get off of the opioids, because you'll find that what's enough one day isn't enough the next day. So you're going to constantly build this tolerance and constantly have to go on stronger and stronger medications. And unfortunately, what they don't tell you is these medications destroy your body. I mean, you can't poop on them, so you're just going to have to be taking like a Miralax.
Take things for all the side effects. And well, we're finding out that the medical industry, and it's not hyperbole to say that they create customers and they extend the customer life of your need for whatever medications by adding other medications to combat the side effects that maybe necessarily weren't necessary in the first place. To repeat necessary twice. But I want to know what you do about people like this over here on YouTube, this crazy person. No offense. That's probably not a bad word. That's probably a bad word in your industry. This person says they're talking some biblical stuff over here on YouTube. A foot cut off that did not bleed. Just some other things. So I don't know. Maybe they saw the occult and they.
So if you cut your foot off and it doesn't bleed,
this person here.
The tissue's probably dead and hasn't had blood supply in a while, and you probably didn't cut it off. It probably just fell right on.
But look what he said right before that, though.
Huh?
Look what he says right before that.
Oh, I didn't.
The vision from Jesus that he told you to tell. It's about a foot, and then the vision was about a foot, I guess. I mean, he wasn't spamming or scamming. So I guess they just had some interesting information about a cut off foot.
If you feel like Jesus is talking to you,
no ketamine for you.
We can address that.
What do you think about psilocybin and other things that are doing some openings of minds or combating PTSD, such as MDMA? I don't think they're handing out ecstasy, but the MDMA, the chemical that's based from ecstasy, they're using for PTSD, and mushrooms, of course.
Yeah. So I like the research on psilocybin, MDMA, LSD, Molly, ecstasy. It's a no for me. It's man-made.
I mean, have you seen how they're doing their test? They're working with, I think, veterans, to be specific, with MDMA on PTSD, for PTSD.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of blown away by that. It's like, whoa, really? And it's like there's also findings with the psilocybin separately that is also combating PTSD pretty heavily.
Yeah, I've seen the research on the psilocybin, and I absolutely love it. I think microdosing shrooms I think it's a good idea. Obviously, I think it's one of those things, it needs to be legal for you to do that. I'm not recommending anybody do that.
Be safe.
But I am saying,
I'm getting there, Justin. Go ahead.
I've seen that research, and it's very hopeful and positive. Now for the Molly and the DMT, MDMA, I think it would have its uses. but we need more research on like dosing, because even with psilocybin, like microdosing can be a little difficult. I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
and exactly figuring out, like weight based and kind of measuring it out, I think has been a little difficult. But I think there could be a use for it. I like more plant based,
Right.
things a little better, more so than laboratory based. Obviously, I do medicine, so like I obviously agree with medications. But to me, I just feel like the side effect profile on Molly and MDMA and LSD is a little freakier to me than a microdose of shrooms or cannabis or
Mm-hmm.
ketamine. Because as you said, I've seen ketamine sedations. It doesn't necessarily, now some people freak out when you go into a K-hole, but otherwise you just sedate them. Whereas I've seen, working ER, some horror effects of like LSD, MDMA, Molly, stuff like that just freaks me out, man.
Yeah, I could see that being not always the answer, but they like I know they have experiments with and I'm pretty sure this has all been like aired out, where they have like people in a room with DMT on a long-term IV drip. And I believe Joe Rogan was talking about this at one point, because you had talked about spirituality, like the whole
Yeah.
connection with the occult. And DMT has been known to supposedly take people to sort of project through other dimensions and all this other thing. So I want to know kind of the other direction with this. Then, is if you your opinion anyway on, say, things like an herbalist shop, where like, what do you think there's kind of some stuff that you got to be careful about out there if you're trying to be quote natural? You can't just go after any person's shop that looks like they have a bunch of remedies or whatever,
Yeah.
snake
But
oils.
I think there's a lot of snake oil out there. I do, to me, now granted, I don't necessarily practice it that well, but the biggest medicine you can have is going to be your food.
Yes. Ding
Trying,
ding ding ding.
yeah. So you can prevent a lot of things with, the food you're ingesting. Like I said, I'm not great about it. I need to eat more fruits and veggies. However, a lot of these herbalists, and I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, just change your diet and you're going to be getting the effects of these herbs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you want more magnesium, eat foods that high in magnesium.
Yeah.
There's just so, now I can see, and I love some naturopathy and I love some herbalists. I like, some supplements. I love the use of melatonin. I love the use of, magnesium.
I've heard that's big. That's
Yeah,
huge recently.
magnesium, is it the glycinate is the one that'll make you sleepy. It can help with stress. But then there's also magnesium citrate, and that'll make you poop. So just try and stay away from that. That's in a big bottle, and it's clear, and it's not.
Yes. Knowing what the stuff does to you, that's like knowledge that a lot of people, like most people, should have a little bit on, like what's different herbs you can grow in your garden. And hey, this is like, there's a few things that we still know, like a lot of people know about mint. You can chew on mint and it can maybe help alleviate a headache, or
And
you
then
know yeah, but like there's so much more, and it's like, such lost knowledge. And that's one of the things I try to do, is I'm trying to popularize the fact that we all need to know this stuff. You can't just outsource your food, but we're finding out that was the wrong that was the wrong way to go.
honestly, having a healthy diet is key to sleeping better, to having less pain, to having better gut health. I mean, to having more mental clarity. That is absolutely huge. And trying to get off of processed foods. But I don't ever want to be that person who says, stop. Oh, it's all or nothing. I've never been that person. I'm never going to be that person. I think everything in moderation, and, just put in that effort. But back on the herbalist thing, the other thing you have to be real careful is you're on these vitamins, you're on these supplements. You can take too much of them and you can do some serious damage to your body. So I think really, talking to, but the other problem that I'd love to say talk to your doctor about it, but a lot of them, kind of poo-poo the idea of, herbalism and
It's because
naturopathy.
they don't have time to know all that stuff. There's so much in their brain, like
And what's sad is some of them do know. Some of them know
Oh,
these things. They just don't. It's a long,
they
long.
really don't believe in it. Huh. Okay.
No.
Well, okay. Now I'll give them this. If you take it at face value, the pharmaceutical industry is supposed to take all of that knowledge and create concentrated forms of those drugs that we would make out of weeds back in the day.
Yep.
Now, what they are doing, and we are finding out more and more, is that they're giving us weakened versions of these medications, or altered versions, or even poisoned versions. We found I brought up some stories recently on a Wednesday show a couple weeks ago about medications being forced into pharmacies on shelves by cartels, like literally back end forcing the pharmacy to put their fake drugs on the shelf at gunpoint. Otherwise, they're going to get taken out, and so then they're selling to people these drugs that were just made in a garage somewhere that they found. The story I was watching about it, they had found that there were like just caffeine pills. They weren't real medicine. Medication, I was going to say, but they were at least not poison. Was they were happy that at least it wasn't, because it could be, a sort of all sorts of other things. So my point is, we've gone beyond the point of those medications being what they were meant to be, and we're finding out that, man, it's like we're making our own stuff from our backyard and our tinctures and everything.
Yeah.
I want to say, sorry, real quick, we're at 109 people on the Facebook side. I want to get this giveaway going here soon, because we're over an hour, and I don't want you guys to wait too long for that second one. We're going to do a giveaway hat. Free hat McCullen. It's a South Park reference. All right, 51 entries on the GrowFamBox. If you guys haven't got in on this, it's kind of large and in charge on the screen. Make sure you get in on it now. I'll give you like 2 minutes. Not even. I'll give you like about around a minute or so. What's up, JC? So, Dagny, I want to thank you for coming for sure. I usually am here for about 2 hours, so definitely make sure you let me know if there's some point where we need to get going. But if you want to get in on this as well, if you got a second device, you might as well. I mean, it's a little goodie pack full of awesome stuff from the community, and the GrowFam Homestead. They purchase stuff from a bunch of different people in the community that makes handmade different things, art and other stuff, and then they put it into a goodie bag and a goodie box, and they call it a GrowFamBox, and that's the giveaway. So if you want to get in on that, you're welcome to it.
I'll have to have my husband get in on it because I can't type on my phone right now.
Well, get him in over here. Go, where's he at? Yeah, you can go let him know now, because we're gonna give people about another minute or so, and we're gonna spin this.
Okay, I'll have him. Is it just the hashtag box GrowFam?
He just has to go into the live stream
Okay.
on Facebook or on YouTube, and he just types in what he sees on the screen in the comments. That's it.
All right. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming in. If you could hit that like button. Got 51 likes on 110 people here. See that like button go up like crazy. 111 people now. 111. Let's get up to at least 60 or 70. Would be great. Thanks, Brad, for appreciating the guest, man. I actually was like, man, I want to find some really relevant guests, and I pulled that card out of my stack there, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be right up our alley, because the people in GrowFam want to learn. we want weed, and and we want to have good guests that can teach us things, can bring us some new information. So we always love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's awesome. He says.
all about no question is stupid ever, ever. So if you guys have any good questions, I love to answer them to the best of my ability. And I'm one of those people where if I don't know, I don't know, and I'll just straight up tell you, hey, I don't know. Let me let me try and figure this out. Let me do some research.
That's good, because that to me shows integrity. People don't realize, like, you don't just listen to who the smartest person you think is in the room. Like, you have to listen to whether they have the, I guess, integrity, to the lack of a better term, but to tell you when their knowledge stops. Like, hey, this is where I probably can't help you anymore from this point, whatever the issue is. And I'm sure there's some people that you might have to turn down at some point, like, just keep coming back for more ketamine or whatever it is.
Oh, I mean,
It might be different things, but
yeah, sometimes, I'm one of those people where it's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't think I'm a good fit for you. And that goes both ways. Like, if I am seeing a patient and I'm like, man, I just don't know if our ideals are going to line up, if I'm going to be able to give you what you're looking for, then I will easily say that. But I've also had patients where I'm like, man, I don't know if we're really vibing here, and they're like, oh my god, this was great, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm very open open to that. The other thing that I want to make sure I get out that's huge is there is an amazing amount of evidence on the use of ketamine for acute suicidality. So if a person is having these suicidal thoughts, and they just cannot get past them, one 40-minute infusion can knock those thoughts right out. Like, it's amazing. It is the only thing that I have seen that'll really kick that suicidality immediately.
so it's not just a mental, or it's not just a physical acute pain thing. It's mental pain thing. Well, I guess maybe I misunderstood. Is it also like I have this deep pain in my leg from some injury a long time ago? You also do it for that?
You can use it for chronic pain, especially, like I said, nerve-related pain, and then for mental health. So the big things with mental health are going to be some PTSD, and then severe treatment-resistant depression, or even severe depression, and of course, what I just said, acute suicidality. So,
Right, like danger zone. Okay, so Valerie asked a good question. Is it something that's not legal in some states, or is ketamine infusions? Do you know anything about that? We have a national audience watching right now, 116 in the house. What's up, everybody? So if you have more questions about this, she is in Illinois, based in Illinois. So it's going to be hard for her to answer a lot of questions outside of the state. But if you happen to know the answer.
So ketamine is legal across all 50 states.
Whoa. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, maybe you don't know, when I worked in the ER, we used ketamine all the time.
Oh no, they wouldn't tell me what cool stuff they were using. I was like, well, what's that? Is that the good stuff? I'd be like, is that the good stuff in there?
It's all to say, well, what I get is the same stuff the hospital will get.
Right.
So it's all legal. Now, however, is it real common that you're going to see a lot of ketamine infusion centers? Not really. It's becoming more popular, but the other thing is that if I'm being very blunt with everybody, it is pricey. It's expensive. It can be time consuming. It's kind of expensive on my end too. So it can be limiting in that. Now, here soon, I will be running some specials on it So, kind of look out on my social media for that and my website. And then I'm also going to work on being able to offer financing for it as well. Because like I said, it's pretty pricey up front. But then in the long run, like I said, it can be more affordable.
Okay, yeah, especially after you've built up, other like everything around it too. It could balance out. So I want to do this spin. Did you got him in there on the hashtag?
Oh yeah, my husband. I walked in there and he's like, "I already did it."
he's already watching. He's like, yeah, okay, we got you. All right, thanks. So we got 61 guys. I think I gave you enough time there. Well, we just hit 117 a second ago. That's awesome. All right, congratulations to whoever. Good luck. 62. Gosh, you guys, goodness gracious. What are we at over on the Rumble? 18 over on the Rumble. So we're sitting about almost 140 now. That's a pretty good Wednesday night. Yes, good luck. 63. You guys are just messing with me now, aren't you? All right. 3, 2, 1. I figured 64 was coming any second. Good luck. So we're going to immediately go into a hashtag for the GrowFam hat from the website. As far as I know, that's still an option. Polly Riggs, are you here, Polly? That's to wake everyone up. Here you go, Polly. Oh yeah, I'll turn that down just a little bit there. There we go.
Congrats, Polly.
Are you there? Oh, she's right there. Boom. Polly with the GrowFamBox. I met Polly in person at a wonderful event for MS. It was raising money for MS. It happened to be called the Toke and Float, put on by Drizzledab LLC, drizzledab.com, one of my sponsors, which is a awesome shop in East Peoria. And they do a Toke and Float every year. He sponsors it. I cannot wait until this coming up year. Polly, I hope I see you there. I'm gonna try to hopefully meet. I'm trying to make friends by then, and then I'll have friends that maybe I can go with, and then maybe we'll find some friends while I'm there. I don't know, but last time I went by myself to just kind of do an a review on the event. This year is going to be crazy though. I'm going to bring some people. We're going to have some fun. I saw this thing I want to do. So it was my first time doing a kayak. I don't know if you ever done kayaking before, but it was my first time on the kayak. I had a blast. I forgot food. I brought one bottle of water. I brought everything else you could need for smoking and a towel and everything. No food. Yeah, no snacks. It was messed up. Anyway, to my point though, this guy had the kayak and then he had the inner tube floats where there's his buddies sitting on the float and tied to his kayak. And then there was about 5 other floats tied behind him. And so the one guy in front was doing the work on the kayak, and everyone behind him was on just a cruise, a chill cruise. They had a cooler hanging out behind them, floating in the water, and away they went. It looked like a really fun time.
Yeah, I love kayaking, love paddleboarding. Cannot get into just straight floating. Having your tush unguarded in that water,
yeah,
sketchy stuff in that water. No,
yeah, that's for sure. I didn't think about that, but in the kayak, it's a little bit more protected,
you got
I guess.
Safety. You got at least a thin layer of plastic, or I don't even know what the paddle boards are made out of, but you got something to protect you from snapping turtles and snakes and all that and creepy fish. Yeah, nope.
I feel like with all the people, it was if you stay somewhere in the middle, everyone's scared everything away by the time you everything's just in. It was fun though. I'm hoping to go back this year. I'm gonna look real quick to see if she had responded. I got you written down, Polly. I don't know if Sir Steve-O is still here, but I will let him know and we'll get you that GrowFamBox. That's awesome. Congratulations. Tell Mr. Dagny to get in on this one as well.
All right. I think he's listening, so
I know. I just thought I would poke fun since I don't know. Tell the mister. What does he say? He owns his own business. I mean, we
Yeah.
can give it a shout out. What kind of
Yeah.
business?
So my husband owns Michael's Barber Shop. It's in Pekin.
Nice.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He does some pretty cool haircuts. Yeah, and I mean it's very, very busy, very, very busy. But yeah,
I
he
can
does.
imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
It's
like
crazy.
right around closing time is when you get the most people come in. I think is like how barbershops usually work.
Yeah, luckily now he's appointment based, which is really nice. But I remember when he was walk-ins only, and some nights he would be there. You know, he's supposed to, last person comes in at 6 or 5:45, and he'd be there till almost 8 o'clock. So it got crazy.
Yeah. What I think though is that he could be using all that hair for like gardening and stuff.
Ugh, I
No,
don't know.
you don't
People,
think?
man,
So
and
like
people.
maybe you wash it. No, that doesn't make sense either. Well, what if you composted it like in a composter?
You know,
The face
again,
changed. Yes. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It could be a thing. I don't know. You've got to be careful with people's hair though. That's for sure.
yeah, and people be.
Mhm.
I don't know how to put this nicely.
Thanks,
People,
Billy.
they be dirty. You don't know what's in that hair. There's stuff in that hair. There could be bugs in that hair. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's true. Compost it, Stuart says. Yeah, outside, I think. Outside compost.
Outside in
Good
the
idea.
cold to kill all of the stuff.
I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I've been saving the dryer lint and I'm going to put it outside in my compost pile outside.
My mom's a huge composter. I wonder if she does that.
I feel like it could be a thing, but maybe not.
I have no clue. I don't compost. It stinks. And I'm like I'm not. I don't have the best green thumb, if I'm being quite frank. But my mom always has this beautiful giant garden every year. I mean, it's massive. It's probably like a 1/4 acre. It is huge, and she just, she composts. She'll freeze stuff and can. She's just so, I want to say it's because she's like bougie and like super into, but I think it was just because she grew up super poor, and that was how you survived, was to have a garden. So I think it brings her a lot of peace and calm. But yeah,
The way of life. Having that knowledge, like canning some food and doing all the big meals where it's like you're in the kitchen half of the day.
yeah.
And on that, most of us aren't used to that. It's like I need something I can make within the next half an hour, and it's time to go. So yeah, that's what we have to get away from. One little thing I did was I stopped using the microwave.
Ooh, I like that. I don't think we use the microwave that often. But I'm not a big on microwaved foods. It's always like mushy or freakishly hot.
It never comes out the way you're hoping for it.
No.
Guys out there, listen to me. This is very serious, you guys. Ask yourself that one question. Next time you use the microwave, does it ever come out the way that you hoped for it to come out? No. I can answer it for you. No.
Soggy. You get soggy.
And I just don't think it's healthy. I've seen studies on both directions, whether it's actually good for us, whether it's bad for us. I'm just gonna assume that bombarding microwaves in our kitchen is probably not the best idea.
Did you watch what is it, Last House on the Left? What it does to that dude's head?
No, but I know that what it does to that gremlin when they from Gremlins like 2 or 3, I forget which one it was. You're too young for that movie, but there's a Gremlins movie back in the 80s.
Okay, so know what gremlins are.
I'm kidding. But they throw them in the microwave and oh geez, it was delicious. There was another question I saw that I was going to read, but I lost it. A lot of comments. Thank you guys. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
there's
it.
been a lot of good questions. I see them and think I'm going to say something, and then my
It's
ADHD,
hard.
and I just look somewhere else.
It's hard because it's your this is probably I don't know, I guess your first interview within the four months you've been. Have you interviewed any? Have you ever been on TV as a kid? No.
No, although we went to a Bradley game the other day, and I think I might be on ESPN.
Oh snap! Okay, we're talking to celebrity here, everybody.
Oh yeah.
I almost didn't recognize you though because with the blonde you added, I was like, is this the same? When I was playing the intro for you. It's like because it's the only picture you had up of with your face, and I was like, is that the same person? You look
Yeah,
very different.
get more professional pictures taken. I just hate having my picture taken. I'm not good at that. I just say,
Right, the unauthentic posing and such. Lauren, I think I showed that on her website, but definitely I encourage everyone to go to her website for sure, occultmentalhealth.com, and that gives you all her pricing and stuff. And again, she is in Illinois, and so I don't know if you're asking like what if she said typical. I think it said I want to say it said 300 an hour, 300 per infusion.
yeah, so the ketamine is $300 an infusion for a mood, so like mental illness, mental health, and then for pain, it's $600
I
an
saw. Okay, that's what I was.
yeah.
Saying.
So
Gotcha.
there's a huge difference because the mental health one is like from start to finish, maybe an hour and a half. The chronic pain is like 4 or 5 hour infusion, and that includes, and a lot of times with the chronic pain you're going to get additional fluids with that too, with some like magnesium, and I'm thinking about doing like a vitamin cocktail in that too, maybe with some like vitamin B6, but I haven't quite decided yet, but yeah, so there is going to be, like I said, it is pricey. I am going to be working on specials soon, and then financing as well for people, because like I said, I know it's pricey. There are a couple other ketamine infusion places around, so I tried to be, kind of be a little less expensive than them, or quite a bit less expensive than them. Without, because I don't, I'm not in this to, make a whole bunch of money or, become rich. Like, I'm not going to, I mean, although it sounds nice, I don't think that's going to, it's going to work out like that, which is fine.
You can be, you can be fair and still,
yeah,
and still be generous. Like I think you don't want to undercut yourself too much.
exactly. And so the other big questions I get is, the ketamine is not covered by insurance. So that's the other one. And then for the
Chuck has
ketamine,
a question here on the screen. I don't know if you see that. It says, how do you know what someone's overdose level is? You start them off really small, or what is it?
Oh yeah. So it's 6 infusions. Like I said, I think it's over a month. I don't have the protocol.
1 month. Okay. So you step it up in that month. That makes sense.
Yes, you got it. Yes. So we started a really low dose, based on your weight, and then we kind of. Oops, sorry, my puppy just knocked something over.
Oh, you've actually been really good compared to a lot of background noises.
Yeah, she's being very good, surprisingly. But anyway,
I kind of want to see her before you leave. Now it's like,
I'll show you. Oh, everybody can see her because she is. She's a French Mastiff, and she is. So if anybody has seen Turner and Hooch, she's Hooch basically. So she's the goofiest looking dog, and she's got like this horrible underbite. So like her bottom teeth stick out.
A dog with an underbite. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's a big giant goofball. But the other thing I was gonna say is with the ketamine, you don't have to live in Illinois for me to treat you. However, you do have to come into my office. So if you're out of state, that's fine. You just, of course, it's in person. So
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. We do have a lot of fam that are somewhere within, a state or two around us. There's people all over the country and the world even, which I'm proud to say. It's very cool to know people all over the world, but we can't always offer our services or even mailing to things all over, including like Australia. I know like a handful of people over there now. But yeah, if you guys are somewhere within the range of Illinois, or you have an event coming up this summer that you plan to go to that's in Illinois, you could sort of do a little bit of planning around that, you guys, because there's like a million events. And I don't know about you, Dagny, but there's tons of cannabis events. Are you planning to try to go to any of them?
Yeah, so
come on, you got to get out there.
I
Awesome.
should plug it. I'm actually helping sponsor the 420 festival in Lincoln. So the Central Illinois 420 Festival, I think is what it's called. Look at me being an awful sponsor.
That's okay. We can actually, I could look it up, I guess, on Facebook real quick here.
So it is. I can pull it up too. So it's in Lincoln at the fairgrounds in Lincoln, I think. It's on 420.
You said Central Illinois 420 Festival?
Yeah, you got it. So yeah, so I'm helping sponsor that, and then I will have I will be, I guess, be giving a like a talk on ketamine and in mental health as well. Then, so I'm looking forward to it. My office is actually it opens in, I'm hoping by March 1st is the plan, and it's located in Tremont, Illinois.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I think I saw that. How is it based on weight though? We I think you had talked about that earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like I think this, if like I said, I don't have the protocol in front of me. I think it's like 0.4 milligrams per kilogram is the starting dose. And then basically what we do is we kind of go up. I think it's about 10 to 15% each one to see where you get the best results. Because I want you to feel like a little bit of an out-of-body experience,
Sure.
but I don't want you to feel like you're going in a K-hole, and I don't want you to have a panic attack. So once we get that perfect dose for you, then that'll be the dose that we stay at. So like I said, we do 6 sessions over a month, and then it's a monthly thing. And
you don't have to increase every month or
no. Now maybe once a year we might have to increase, but not by much, maybe 10%. And like I said, my plan in the future is to offer a more cost-effective thing, so that once you go through those first 6 sessions, and we've done a couple monthly sessions after that, we could go to the ketamine lozenges. So that would be a much more affordable option. But
because you're not having to, I'm sorry to interrupt, because you're not having to administer it using IVs and all the whole process. Because I was reading what Leslie had said. He's a little frustrated. I think you're kind of answering some of what he's saying here about how it's well, I'll just read what he says. If ketamine is to help with drug abuse, then it's impossible for addicts to afford. And if ketamine helps save lives with overdose victims, it should be available. Damn things that are good to help PTSD is expensive. Insurance won't help. Yeah, so I get what he's saying, and basically you addressed it right after he was saying it. They're coming up with cheaper ways to do it, and just taking a lozenge is way better.
Yeah, but the big thing is with the lozenges is because I see all these online companies offering the ketamine lozenges. And it's like, to me, all the research that I've seen shows you need to have those 6 bolus doses first. Because if you just go straight into that lozenge, it's you don't know the dose you need. And B, it may not be enough to where you get no effect from it.
Well, plus you're not. Are you still monitoring them with the lozenge?
Nope, nope. Mm-mm.
So there's a difference there. Like you
Yeah,
have that
and
beginner period,
yeah,
right?
and the bioavailability. Give me just a minute. I gotta let my dog out. Come here,
Sure.
Star.
Thought that was a kid I heard making that noise. Ronnie, I'm not sure what you were discuss. You said because it's called tachycardia arrest, it's not natural. What are you addressing there?
So
Ron?
tachycardia is elevated heart rate. Like I said, you don't. It
Oh,
doesn't. Ketamine.
she was asking about horse tranquilizer associated with cannabis.
So ketamine was the horse tranquilizer, but they're two different things.
So it was a derivative maybe at one point, because I always thought that too. Horse tranquilizer.
It was. It is. No, it is. It is. It is. And yeah, it still is. It's still a horse tranquilizer.
But in the same way, ivermectin can be used for horses. It can also be used for people, just like many drugs that are
exactly.
crossover.
So with the ketamine, you can't necessarily overdose on ketamine. You can go into a K-hole, or you can basically be sedated, and not sedated like other medications. It doesn't, slow your heart rate. It doesn't slow your respirations. Now, you can have tachycardia, so that elevated heart rate from anxiety or panic from it. The other common thing is elevated blood pressure as well. Again, if you're starting to feel anxious or kind of panicky. So when I'm giving these infusions, I have medications at the ready to help bring your blood pressure and your heart rate down, to help calm you down with that. Like I said, that Versed. The other thing is I have a full crash cart that will be in my office. Nice. Not that I think I will ever need it, but it's, and, I'm ACLS. Like I have all these additional certifications for, conscious sedation, for advanced cardiac life support. So you will be safe.
Ronnie says you can have a heart attack. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't take all of the precautions, if you're in, I'm sure there's, you can have a heart attack with like aspirin,
Oh yeah.
So
and the thing is, it's not for everybody. If you have schizophrenia, or you are bipolar and having a manic episode, or have a history of manic episodes, ketamine's not going to be the best choice for you, period. Now, if you're bipolar and you've never had a manic episode and you've only had, the severe depression, it's an option, but it's not recommended for anybody ever having like delusions or hallucinations or excessive paranoia. You can do PTSD, of course. And like I said, PTSD, severe depression, some bipolar in there, possibly some anxiety, but it would just be, kind of a case-to-case basis on that. So it's not an end-all be-all for everybody. And obviously the big one is acute suicidality. Like I really want to advocate for that.
Listen, Ronnie, if you're going to come in here and try to correct her, then you better use the right your. I'm just saying.
No, that's okay. You also spelled history wrong as well, but that's
okay. Wow.
What would you? I'm not.
Just.
I don't want people to think that I know everything, because I don't. And if I'm wrong on something, I've been wrong before. But I just, my thing is, I just want people to feel safe. And a lot of times these ketamine infusions are for those people who have tried everything else and are stuck in the dark and just can't see the light. They can't see a way out. They can't, they've been on all these different medications.
Right. That's the key. It's like no one's jumping to ketamine. Like they're not going, hey, that seems like a cool thing. Let me just jump in there. Like, and maybe there's a lot of times where medications don't jive with you no matter what it is. If that's something that you take and, so, I mean, I get it. I get Ronnie's concern, but what it sounds like to me is that you're doing everything that you can to be as safe as you can. And this is an industry, this is a thing out there. It's not some to use your words, woo woo thing that's out there these days. Like it kind of like, okay, no offense, I did a review on this place where I got a free Reiki massage. Anyone know about the Reiki massage?
Yeah. Yep. Did you open up any of your chakras?
It was all of this, and it was no touching. It was no touching. It was like, this I'm pretending like my boom is me, and I'm laying there, and she's just, and there was the music, and there was sage. It was actually very pleasant. I hope she's not watching. No offense. Maybe I hope she's watching. It was a great time. It was good for me. I hope it was good for her too.
Yeah.
But I'm just kidding. But no, it was interesting. Have you ever had a Reiki massage?
Yes. We in nursing school, one of my teachers was really, I didn't have a massage, but she was really into Reiki, and like we had
chakras, yeah.
Whole thing on Reiki. And like, don't get me wrong, I think chakras are cool. I think, I think that it's a wonderful way to try and make sense of things we don't understand. So, and I completely believe in, not necessarily the fifth dimension, but that there are just things we can't explain. So I think with Reiki, my problem is I've seen where people push it for like a cure for things, when it's not. To me, it's more of a grounding and more finding your center and like getting a calm.
Yeah, it was calming. Yeah. I really liked that. There was an oxygen bar as well I went to. Have you ever seen this? The oxygen bar.
I'm not gonna lie to you, they may be a little bit of highway robbery, but if it's
this was a free trial. I got to go. Like I did a review for the place, and I got a free trial, so like a 5-minute test or like a free 5 minutes, and they pushed the oxygen through a liquid that has like different things like mint or like different like eucalyptus or something. I don't know, different things that make you like help open up your sinuses, your airways, and whatever sort of medical benefits, I guess you could add, you could say. And it was interesting, but I don't think I felt anything off of it.
Yeah. With those, I think it's more of like getting like a kind of a vibes thing with the atmosphere. I'm not sure what medical benefits you can get from it, because if you have too much oxygen, that's not a good thing.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like, Mr. Burns has a good question for you. Does that mean Coke? I mean, I'm more of a Pepsi guy myself, but that means Coke is good for people that are tired. I mean, I don't know, Mr. Burns. The caffeine in Coke there's a lot of caffeine in Coke, and the sugar too. It will help you, but it will also make you crash.
Yeah,
after that.
A Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi with some lemon myself. And we all have our vices. If you want to drink some Coke, that's fine. Maybe just not 6 bottles a day or 6 cans, but yeah.
Yeah, I try to stay away from. Actually, I'm trying to drink more water is what I'm trying to do, but it's hard. Like you said, the food is kind of our first line of defense on a lot of things, on many things, almost so many ailments. And I tell you what, I don't know what's happening, you guys. Since I turned 40, I'm just falling apart, literally falling apart. Had to have an X-ray on my ankle. My elbow is like my elbow feels like it's bruised down to the bone, and then my shoulder over here literally feels like I got a shot deep in my muscle. And at times it feels like it's a bee sting. It hurts so much, like the arms are just going to fall off.
Oh, did they?
She gave me some ointment or something. It doesn't do anything.
Have you tried?
Tastes weird though. I'm just kidding.
I've seen some really good research around like those THC infused like balms and ointments for joints. So I don't know if you've tried that, but I've seen that's pretty good. Or even like THC CBD infused.
Well, and I don't think it's a pain. I honestly, I'll be honest, I don't like to mask my pain. I want to like know what's going on. Like, I don't want to just like, just make it go away.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's actually a huge thing that I tell my patients when I see them, when I work, in the hospital is, your pain's not going to be zero. I don't want your expectation for pain to be zero, but I want your pain to be manageable. I want it to be something that you can function through and aren't completely focused on. So that's a big thing.
Huh. I see. Well, I think that makes sense. I mean, that's the best outcome for sure. So I'm going to do this other spin pretty soon, guys. I don't want to keep dragging on too long. We're about 10 minutes, 15 minutes till the 2-hour mark. 46 in on the hashtag. Awesome. Let's check out the Rumble over there. I can't tell because my phone's old over here and it doesn't update. But so what's the best play? I mean, your website, does it have like a sign up or like a newsletter or anything? Is there something? There's some way that people can help you if they're not necessarily seeking help. Facebook page.
So there is, yeah. So you can like my Facebook page or my Instagram. My website, there is a contact us form where you could put whatever you want in. You could put that you don't like me or think I'm smelly or hate my business name. That's fine. Put whatever you want in there. So those are a couple ways. I try and be really, active on social media. I'm not great at it. I really
it's tough.
But
you got to find your lane, kind of, yeah. And I try a lot of different things. I'm one of these people that I'll try this, I'll try that, but I kind of figured out what I'm good at, and that's I don't do all the Instagramming. Like I'll do the share over from Facebook, but Instagram is just not good for me. I don't know.
It's so much. Although I'm not gonna lie, I do love my Instagram because it's like somehow curated for like a bunch of heavy metal music.
It's so weird how everyone's is different. Everyone you talk to, it's like when you hit search button, it's such a drastic different.
Oh yeah, mine's pretty. The feed is pretty cool right now on my Instagram, much more cool than my Facebook. But I think it's because apparently I'm not very good at the following, and I keep following a bunch of different like metal bands as my business. And I follow like some local counselors as well. So I do that as well. And if anybody follows me, that's a real person, then I follow them back usually as well. But yeah, so you can contact me on any of those. Shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger or DM me on Instagram. Either of those work as well.
Cool. Well, I hope to see you around. I think that you do fine online on the camera there. So we will definitely get you back on at some point, especially when we start doing events and things. We'll maybe promote some stuff. But either way, it's been a great show. If you have any questions, definitely, ask us. But we do 6 shows a week now on GrowFam. We've got our Monday show. Actually, I need to, I totally slipped my mind. We still have 107 people on the Facebook side. I can't tell what we got on the Rumble side right now because my phone went out. I'll just do this. Anyway, I'm going to play us a FOOP commercial real quick, and maybe a GrowFam commercial, about 1 minute long total. And before we do this last giveaway, 12 people were in the Rumble. Cheers, Rumblers. 10 likes already. Thank you. Rumble's like a YouTube kind of, but like more new and, Wild West over there. So I'm really have high hopes for that one. Yeah. All right. So we're going to play that, and then we'll get back to this hashtag. It looks like we've got 46 in on it. Make sure you guys get the hashtag in before this commercial's over with here. Where is it? Which one? We'll play Let's Grow Like a Pro. Be healthy, go organic, use FOOP. FOOP is a nutrient line that we use here at GrowFam, so it's something that we're getting into all their products, and they've got different things that they're showing us, and they're going to send us a little sample of their new product, the FOOP Biochar. So I'm actually pretty excited to try that out. I'm going to be using it with some worms.
There you go. Is it worm castings that are the good part?
The worms themselves are pretty good, but also the castings, and you can get like a tea out of it as well. Like there's different things. There's a lot of good stuff for it. What's up, Sean, over there on the YouTube? Sean, did you see? I don't know which YouTube the guy was on, but we had a person who's desperately in need of some psychiatric attention. He needs he needs your help. The guy from YouTube earlier, that was speaking about the foot cut off and the Jesus telling him about.
Oh yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
If you feel like you're actively seeing Jesus or that he is physically talking to you, let me know. And
Ketamine's not for you.
Yeah, no ketamine for you. And we joke, I joke, but I do have, hallucinations are very real. Delusions are very, very real and very terrifying. So, if anybody is suffering from that, don't be ashamed. We can make an appointment and we can try and make them disappear for you.
I mean, that's kind of a sad thing too, is that there are levels of mental instability that are, I guess we'll just say, much more extreme levels that are much more difficult to treat. And that's why we still have mental facilities, but we've kind of gotten rid of a lot of them. Many of them. So it's like weird because it's a double-edged sword. When we had more mental institutions, they kind of needed to stay afloat. So you'd have stories of people getting locked away that, that maybe didn't need to be. And, the worst thing you can say is I'm not crazy when you're being locked up. Like what else? That's a nightmare situation, being locked up, when it's like maybe your family wants your inheritance or whatever it is, like the classic, movie tropes or whatever, like the straight jacket scene, and it's like, no, I'm fine. That's scary too. That's the other end of things. It's like he's perfectly fine, but you're being locked away because you're crazy. It's like, ooh. Look at Roseanne Barr. She had, I think it was an Ambien or something.
Oh yeah, Ambien.
An Ambien, and then she started tweeting up a storm and just got a whole lot of hate after that day. She didn't even know what she did. Started talking a bunch of stuff, and yeah.
Ambien, Ambien can really get you, because the big thing is, if you don't go to sleep, you can go into like a fugue state where you're still functioning, walking around, talking, doing things, but you have no recollection at all. It's some pretty crazy stuff.
So we have a guy in our community here, Mr. Burns. Well, we think he's a guy. I don't know. No assumptions made, Mr. Burns. He is having a hallucination currently. We want you to call the authorities, Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
he's a jokester.
Okay, I was about to say, because if any hallucination is telling you to harm yourself or anyone else, just go straight to an emergency room.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah,
it's a good rule of thumb. It's like if it's a cool like little like fairy hanging out, just talking to me, shooting the shit, that's okay. But if it's telling me to hurt myself or hurt someone else, I should probably get in there like ASAP.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. And it's terrifying. And what you just said of, being locked away against your will, as long as you, which, I'm saying this, but as long as you have a decent mental health professional, they should be good at realizing, oh, hey, you don't deserve to be here. Oh, hey, your family's saying this, but you're not showing me any of this. So, that is a fear. And I should say it's not necessarily warranted, but I mean, Yeah, I
It's
think
like a lightning a strike or something. Like
yeah.
it's gonna happen any second.
Yeah, yeah. You say that, and then of course, I'm going to be working in the hospital, and then I'll get one of those. So,
Look what they do to the famous people, celebrities. The doctors are always doing some crazy stuff, man, throwing them some drugs on the side and everything. And then you got look at P Diddy, look at P Diddy, look at Michael Jackson. I think there was probably something in Elvis Presley's hoagie
yeah,
before he died.
just kills me. Like what Michael Jackson was on. Who is giving out propofol? Like what is like that stuff is just terrifying to me. Like the fact that these people are gonna give anybody a medication for like just I mean, you could obviously they killed those people, but I mean, like Anna Nicole Smith, I mean, her doctor was giving her ungodly amounts of medications that no one should ever have or be on. Then same, like I said, with
crazy
that propofol, the milk, like that's what you give to anesthetize someone. Like that is not something you should just take at home.
Yeah, that's an extreme case for sure. But yeah, people, I don't know. People need to take a little bit more of their own medical knowledge into account. But I guess you got to be careful with WebMD. You can't just go out there and Google search it. Oh, that's what I have. Okay. All right, good.
Yeah. I mean,
got a pain here or there.
WebMD can be helpful, but sometimes it can be a little too helpful.
All right. So Chuck Rock, shouts out, bro. I sent out a whole bunch of invites, and Chuck said he's at work, but he came by anyway. And I appreciate you, bro. And we're gonna do this spin here. We got 3 minutes till 2 hours. We're gonna probably get going fairly soon.
Okay.
But we're gonna do this spin now. Give you guys, let's see, 30 seconds until the 158 mark to get the last couple of hashtags in. This is a hat from the GrowFam.com. Shouts out to the GrowFam.com. If you want to use coupon code WTIF10, you get 10% off on the GrowFam.com. That's where you can get things like this cool shirt. Well, I don't know if you can get this shirt there, but you can get other shirts like this with GrowFam on it. Misfits are taking over one of your lives soon, brother. Oh, you are? Okay. Or wait, are you talking to someone else? I can't tell with the oh no, he is talking to me. Okay. Take it over on a Thursday night. We do. So I was going to let you know about that at some point, Dagny. I do a show on Thursday night, and we're going to probably, I don't know what we're going to talk about this week, but shouts out to People in the Boxes. It's called PITB, and every Thursday night it's about the same time, and we create an environment where we can have up to 10 people on the screen, and we bring up a topic that's very common, something that most people would have some kind of an experience with, or friends that have experience with. And so then we bring each other perspective by describing our experience. We've shared our experience on that topic rather than just our opinions. Now, opinions do still fly and everything. But it's very it's the perspective alone is worth it. I mean, we always learn something. Sometimes things get a little spicy, but for the most part, we keep it pretty neutral. But it's really cool to see, especially somebody like you with a professional background, because we need more people on there sometimes to bring that kind of perspective with, like, not just the other end of the user end of things, but the professional end. We have Kim Axtell. Shouts out to Kim. She does a show on GrowFam as well, but she's always coming up on GrowFam or no, People in the Boxes. She's a teacher, so and she's got lots of teaching degrees, so we always pick her brain on the teaching side of things. We need to get you on sometime and do another shout out. We'll definitely work on that. But you are very knowledgeable. Thank you again. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. And you guys definitely go follow her. Go check it out. Occult Mental Health on Facebook, occultmentalhealth.com. If you want to go find out pricing and get any further into the process, especially somewhere around Illinois. Remember where she's at. Is there anything else you want to shout out? Feel free.
I was gonna, yeah, just follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can visit my website, like you said. I'm on all of that. And I guess before we leave, I guess I could show you guys.
Chuck Rock.
I guess
There we go, the man. Go ahead.
My cute puppy, or I guess she's not very much a puppy anymore. Give me just a minute. Let me see if I can find her.
Congrats, Chuck.
And this is my little goober here. I don't know if you can.
Oh, hold on. Let's make him full screen.
All right, you ready to see this? The cuteness.
Yeah.
Here we go. You can see her.
Oh, is that like what is it? Turner and Hooch? No, what's the the dog from? Okay. Yeah.
She's just the cutest thing.
Yes.
And she's giant.
Oh.
Giant for.
Very cute.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let you go, and I'll wrap it up with the fam here, and yeah, we'll definitely have you on again sometime. And guys, let us know if you have any questions. If you're watching this video after the live, definitely leave a comment, and we'll get back to that and see if we can answer it for you. But yeah, thank you again, and thanks for the dog for being pretty quiet, and thanks to your husband, because I probably come through and get a haircut sometime for sure. I'm not that far away, so. All right. Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. So let me get back to the main screen here. Okay. Oh. I don't think we need that. Chuck knows he won. Chuck came through while at work. So thanks, Chuck. Thanks to Chuck's boss. Actually, I'm not sure if he was here for most of the show. I'm going to give it to him. Oh, it's still here, he says. Okay, cool. It's a few minutes ago. Cool. Excellent. Guys, excellent show. Very cool. You got Sir Stevo Certified Terpy Thursdays tomorrow. Got to make sure you go check that out. I'm not 100% sure what he's giving out, but it should be awesome. What about no? Thanks, Bradley. That we're not asking that, bud. No, I don't have one. Thank you. But you can go follow me on Locals, Bradley, the indoor farmer.locals.com. You get in all the awesome perks and the giveaways and the Hash and Dash immunity and the game night and yada, yada, yada. So if you want to support me, guys, go check it out. Game night's worth it. I mean, ask anybody that gets in there. Go check it out. You too, Ronnie. Thank you very much. We'll have you guys have a great night. And where's my outro? Oh, I got to go get it still. I forgot. I made a new one and keep forgetting to load it in there. I don't know. Should we do one more dab real quick? Why not? 98, awesome. Well, 120 people still here. You guys, it's been a interesting week. Man, this weird pain coming in on my shoulder. Oof. It's that old guy pain. I'm going to do one quick dab here with you guys on the way out. What do you guys think of this background? That's a different one, huh? It's like a little rushing water here. Some rushing water. Hashtag fifth. Ronnie, you know what? We're going to have to figure out maybe if we can get you, if you want to get in on game night and such from Canada, maybe we work out a deal. You know, I'd like to get Canadians in on it if they are okay with helping out with the shipping and such, because some of the prizes may not be things that you could even have. I don't know if beans can be shipped to Canada. Is that something that can be done? I'm not sure. Small circles forward and back. You know, Chuck, I've been doing some what you might call physical therapy. I tried to do a push-up. Man, I did one. I can do one push-up. It goes all the way down my tricep. My other side is hurt too. So, you know, before you go thinking what you're thinking. Shoulder pain, all the more reason to toke up. That's what I'm saying, Sean. You know, we're gonna have one more good one. You ship all over the world, Ronnie. Okay. Yeah, Chuck, you're right. I tried one. I shouldn't do any push-ups. It feels like did I explain it already? But yeah, it feels like somebody gave me a shot in the arm, you know. But then also, if I try to use it, is a different pain. It goes actually through the tricep rather than just like kind of sitting there, like Eeyore's tail pinned on the donkey right there. And it's not all the time when I sleep. Oh man, that's really bad. But yeah, guys, shouts out to Dagny. I really appreciate her coming on, and you know, especially the being that she's a new business. I want to get her, you know, some what do you call it? Publicity is not the right word. Visibility, yeah. Publicity is right. I mean, publicity works. That's not really like this isn't publicity. This is visibility, you know, in the community. But that token float, you guys, if you're anywhere close to Illinois, or you want to plan that trip, definitely hit me up. We should plan it all up. We can just make. I mean, it's a good 6-hour trip down a river, and man, I had a blast, and I was all by myself. I mean, I saw a few people I knew there, of course, but it wasn't a big deal. I had fun though. You missed the whole. I have to see what she's about. Oh, Lisa May, you missed the show. It's a very good one. This will be a very good episode if anybody wants to go back and rewatch. What's up, Alex from Mythic Genetics? Actually, Vanilla Ice. Chuck kind of looks like he could be like Vanilla Ice's cousin, maybe. No offense, Ronnie says. I challenged her. She was offensive. Just learning. Well, hold on, and I'm not sure what you mean by that. You said I challenged her. Was offensive. Just learning. Like, I mean, you know, you might have been a little aggressive. Yeah. But I was asking her about the safety and everything, and it definitely sounds like something that you have to be, um, you have to know what you're doing. You can't just be like, hey, I'm selling ketamine gummies, or not gummies, but like brownies or something like something like you would with cannabis. So it's definitely next level for sure. I don't think I'll ever be too interested in it unless it's this injury keeps up. Who knows? This is my therapy, doing these streams, doing these shows, putting the time in and effort into something that is something I make, something that I create. It's very therapeutic. It kind of brings yourself a little perspective on how you're kind of not the center of everything. You create something and put it out there. And a lot of you guys can relate. There's a lot of small business people in the audience. There's a lot of other breeders and genetics people. Like, you make something, you grow something like a plant, and it's like your baby, and it's like it kind of gives you that perspective. I think I like it anyway. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Be responsible, Billy. Yeah, for sure. Sure, that's easy for you to say. You won the other day. LOL, kill me sometimes. What, Billy? Joking. Oh, I didn't understand it. I was like, huh? Seal fact 2: the largest seal weighs more than 4 tons. Whoa. Is that something? Tells me that's not a Snapple lid, Alex. because a Snapple lid wouldn't have seal fact number 2. It would just say the fact. What is that? What is this fact from? Just like a pack of Bubblicious or something? I'm not sure. She lost her kid, sister. This and that. Yeah, you got. I mean, it's all. We got to be careful no matter which way. We have to realize this. I think, anyway, that we need to realize that it is unnatural for so many people to survive. It's not that it's unnatural for so many people to be on the planet. I think we could deal with a lot more. But what I'm saying is it's unnatural for a lot of people to have survived that say would have died when, Wild West days, or pick your historical time. But before we had all of these medical advancements, like, so many of us would have just probably not survived because of some of these things that we think of as maybe somewhat minor these days, like just having a manic episode, or having a anxiety and things like that. Like, there's things that back in like caveman days, like you would have just been like, oh, you just been one of the herd that just died, like, sorry, you're out. Like, you have a slight medical condition, you're out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not able to run and fight, out of here. It's like, it was a Snapple fact, you think, Ronnie? I don't think so. Oh, I got facts for days, he says. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was a Snapple fact. All right, guys, I am out of here. Thanks again. Hit that like button if you haven't yet already. Please do so. Share us out with a friend. Go hit that Rumble. Appreciate everybody that spent some time over there tonight. We're still running 17 strong on Rumble. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michael Gray. Good night, brother. I cannot wait until game night this week. We're going to add teleportation into the mix. So your magic joint will allow you to teleport over to the cash register, turn in your market coins to get prizes. That's how game night works, you guys. Gotta come check it out sometime. Anyway, that's all I can say. Down by the bay. Peace out. Peace out, Sean, over on the YouTube. Good night, Polly. We'll get you that GrowFamBox very shortly. And congratulations to Chuck as well. Uptime Podcast. Come check him out on the boxes. Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. Right after Sir Steve-O Certified Terp Thursdays. So got the Occult Mental Health on Facebook, guys. Good night, everybody.